Like so many others, I was very moved and shocked by Seamus Heaney's passing, and it reconnected me with a poem about my own father's death in this book that I wanted to read as a sort of memoriam. And because I was a rebellious daughter, this poem is written in Sapphic stanzas, which are lots of dactyls and trochees, sort of at the beginnings of lines. Trackless. After the snow, everything is visible. Sudden hills beyond our familiar ridge, and branches, crazed and woven under sleeves of fallen snow. So I'm climbing the ridge and hoping tracks of deer or even bear appear, rise up out of trackless white, some small sign to say, we're here and not alone. Father, I am older now than you were, older now than dying you were. The snow ahead is all unmarked and friendless, a blank of heavy cold. Where are they, bobcat, deer, coyote, the tracks to follow up this ridge? In deep, then in deeper, walking stick and boot. These marks, they're mine, and leaving them as if leaving you again alone is what the snow is saying I'm to do. Ahead then, the trackless white. But look, behind the snow is ribbon. I cannot look. And turning, climbing, I make such signs as daughters make, my marks in new snow, however welcome, hoof and paw of those I can only love, but not save, not save. And you, now overhead, circling, calling, hawks are parting the air, and if landing, their talons mark the branches, the shifted snow may never reach us here, below. No track, no earthbound sign to lead us on, just wings and the memory of wings, just cries and the memory of cries. After snow, everything not visible. Sort of didn't do this consciously, but here, after the father poem is a mother poem. I have been reading and studying the Irish poets for all my career, as in with my other hat as an academic, and I've always admired the ways that they write the public poem. I like the word public poem better than protest poem or political poem. So I've been trying to learn about them, learn from them my whole career as well. And I also wanted to read, because of this audience, another kind of crafty poem. This is a sestina with that kind of obsessive return and return and return. And it's about a story my mother told me a few years ago where the candidate she voted for didn't win. And so she went out before dawn to rake leaves, which at the time struck me as this incredibly beautiful and constructive gesture in the face of disappointment. After the election, my mother rakes leaves. She tells me she woke before dawn. Grief burned her right out of her bed. Her small house in a southern suburb stirred and blinked in deranged autumn leaves. She would not live this day like another, so she took up her rake in the dark. Common out of all context, rake in the dark. Alone, almost 80, my mother outdoors, dawn still an hour away. She would not live another day, not like this one, tilted out of her bed, faces of the needless dead, like leaves rising up at each stroke in the silent suburb. How else to live this southern suburb but to take up a rake in the dark? This is where the years have brought her, to leaves, raking leaves in the dark before dawn. The familiar made strange among dim flower beds, shutter-whiskered windows, every other house still asleep. perhaps now another war. How to sleep in the silent suburb while those others are killed in their beds. She takes up her rake in the autumn dark to do clear, certain work before dawn. Fallen, huddled, now gathered, leaves lie at the curb. She almost believes she sees bodies mounded the other side of the world, darkening as dawn happens here. First light in the suburb and the houses stand naked, dark, lingering like a bad intention. Misled, a street light illuminates nothing. Beds of roses need mulching, but she'll leave that for later. A vote cast in the dark, she heads in for coffee, another beginning in the southern suburb. Her anger rakes down the dawn.